Our building product library is where our framework and our chemical material library really come together to help you start evaluating building materials that you may be specifying or looking at specifying. Currently, we have these top-level product classes: thermal insulation, standard paints, resilient flooring, wallboard, high-performance coatings, ceilings, and MDF particle board. Also, wheat board is included there. Generally the casework if you're using the master format 2004. We're adding about every 45 days we add a new product category, and within the product categories we've added, we're continually adding new products to those as well. We're adding about 125 products per quarter to the system. Let's take a look at one here. Let's take a look at resilient flooring. Here's our basic search result page. As you can see, we're doing a top-level search here, just the overall finishes, resilient flooring. We haven't dug down into some of the subcategories in master format, like cork flooring and such. They're all included on this top-level search. Just give you an orientation to the page. This is giving you, the number of search results, what the category searched for. Over here, you have your filter, your ability to filter results. We'll look at that quickly in a second. And then you have your basic layout of how these products come back. As you can see, each of these products are scored in the 5 categories we talked about earlier: volatile organic compounds, user toxics, manufacturing toxics, renewable material, renewable energy. Each of these scores are for that product that evaluation framework evaluation category. And as you can see, a score is rendered for each one. 10 in green would be the highest, the ideal. 1 and red are the lowest, the problem. And different levels of goal in between, where we have, it's going to move slowly from red to orange to yellow green to dark green as you move up the scale. So this is really just meant to give you a very quick hit on how things perform. It's automatically lined up by its VOC score. However, you can order, depending on what is most important for you in this particular application. Perhaps renewable material is what you're looking for. So you can go ahead and sort the results, and now they're lined up by what their renewable material score is. So you get a better sense of that. The filters are used, well, actually, let me back up here. Let me first talk about this. The manufacturer participation level is marked on each one. For every product, there are different stages in the process. One when we're just starting to collect public data, one when we are actually evaluating manufacturer submitted data, and one where we have QA'd the data with the manufacturer and believe that we have painted the best picture we can with data provided from the public sphere and from the manufacturer themselves. So the different levels of participation are full participation. So you have the green check in the full participation. Some manufacturers have declined to participate at all. In that case, the data is collected from publicly available documents, MSDSs, patent research, etc. And then I'm not sure if any resilient floorings are currently meeting this other standard, but if you saw a little clock, a little gray clock, that is where we're in process of working with the manufacturer, QAing their data, but we want to give the users a preliminary idea of how the actual product is going to score. Okay, now to the filters. So you can either filter by Pharos attributes, minimum scores. If you're familiar with our framework and you have an idea of creating kind of a template using minimum scores for each, you can do that. You can also search by individual chemical attributes. At this point, these are the ones that are available. Or you can use these kind of top-level templates that we're using, which are, for instance, no materials using EPA chemicals of concern. You can go ahead and click and get a little bit of info on how that works. Or, in this case, the first real one we're doing here is the Living Building Challenge Red List materials. And this is really scanning for products that are known not to contain chemicals that are red listed in the Living Building Challenge from the Living Building Institute. So let's go ahead and apply that and just see what we get back. So as you can see, we have 53 search results at this point. We're going to go ahead and apply that filter. Now we've got 14 that passed the filter requirements. 16 products failed the filter requirements because we know that it contains a chemical that's on that red list. 23 failed because we don't know all of the content yet, that we feel that the manufacturer has not disclosed all the content at this point. Now that I've narrowed down my search a little bit, I can start digging into the products themselves. And again, I'm going to do this very quickly. We have an entire webinar on using this page coming up next week, which will be posted online as well. So let's look at any of these scores. You have the ability to drill down and find out why they score this way. So let's take, in this case, looking at the VOC score. You get a little description of why it scored the way it did. In this case, it meets floor score standards, which in our system for volatile organic compounds rates a 7. Gives you a listing of the material contents. There's the certifications and standards. You can actually, if you click through here, you can go ahead and see the actual certification document. Here are the data sources that were submitted. And again, the certification and explanation of what that certification is if you want to dig in and find out. As we get into some of the more multi-layered, for instance, we could look at, let's take a look at the USTOX score. Now this is really a combination, and like I said, there'll be a webinar going much deeper into this. I'll just touch on it quickly. But you'll see that it got a base score of 7 for the VOC certification, but then we subtracted 1 point because of the calcium carbonate is a yellow flag material, and that could become available through use and wear and tear. Okay, the final thing I want to show in the building material library is if you dig in, let's go ahead and dig in here, to the product itself. Once you've kind of honed in on a product, you can really start going even deeper. Now in this case, you can see the manufacturer declined to participate. That means that these are all coming from an MSDS or from a patent. Over here you can see the attributes. You can see it clears many attributes. We aren't sure whether antimicrobials are applied to the product. In some cases this could be because antimicrobials are an option, and this is just kind of a sign that you need to talk to your sales rep or your manufacturer's rep and find out what antimicrobials would be applied to yours. Manufacturer's description. This is essentially the description that the manufacturer provides, either in this case since they didn't participate on their website. The Pharos team notes are our research notes, and this is really getting in pretty deep if you want to get this deep. And you can go ahead through and take a look. And then of course it's CSI information, so you know what CSI categories it would meet. Well, I hope that gives you an intro to the 3 parts of the foundation of the Pharos system. We will be going into each one of these far more in detail in the coming weeks, as well as other features that hopefully are going to make your job of specifying and researching materials easier every day. My name is Larry Kilroy, and the Information Systems Director here at Healthy Building Network, and I'd like to thank you for taking the time to watch this short video, and hope you come back for more. Have a good day.